Hi, good day all of you. Welcome to our session. Welcome to our channel, Intelligible Tutorials. In this today's session now, I'm going to give the clear information regarding the characteristics of the big data. In my past video, I told regarding the traits of the big data, like types of the big data, structured, semi-structured, and as well as unstructured. And now I'm going to give the 5 V's of the big data. The primary characteristics are regarded as the 5 V's. So what are they now? We are going to see. The very first one is the volume, okay, and coming to the second one is the variety, and third one is the velocity, fourth one is the value, fifth one is the veracity. So what all these things now we give a look. Okay, so volume refers normally what is the volume here, in the sense the volume gives the huge amounts of the data that is collected and generated in every second in the large organizations, and as well as it is also generated from multiple types and from multiple sources such as IoT devices, social media, videos, financial transactions, etc., etc. And storing and processing this huge amount of data was a problem earlier, but now because of the big data techniques we can handle such kind of the data very well. So finally, what is the meaning of the volume? The large amount of the data and different types of the data from different types of the sources. Okay, the next one is the variety. So what kind of the data now we are going to handle? It refers to the different sources. The variety means we are gathering the data from multiple types of the sources, not only one single source, as we know earlier. So the sources of the data have changed over the years. That means the same source cannot be there for multiple years. So it will be changed from year by year or time to time. Earlier, it was only available in spreadsheets and databases. Nowadays, the data is present in photos, audio files, video file, text files, and PDFs. I told you, no. So it is a in the unstructured. It is a mixture. It is a combination of different types of the data. So the variety of the data is crucial for storage and as well as analysis. Okay. So what is the meaning of variety here? The variety means from variety number of the sources. And coming to the third one, that is nothing but velocity. So what is the meaning of velocity here? The term refers to this, the speed at which data is generating, the data is creating, that is nothing but the velocity. The speed of data producing is already related to how fast this data is going to be processed, and this is because only after analysis and processing the data that can meet the demands of the clients and users. Okay, so and the massive amounts of the data are produced from sensors, social media sites, and application logs, and all of it is continuous. If the data is flow is not continuous, there is no point investing time or effort on it. So, continuous form, the data is the stream of the data is going from one source to another. We are extracting from multiple number of the sources. So whenever you are extracting the multiple number of the sources, the speed plays a vital role. The processing plays a vital role. At what speed the processing is going to, at what speed the data is going to be processed. This thing is related to this word, particular word called velocity, right? And next one is nothing but value. So what is the meaning of this value? So no matter how fast the data is produced or its amount, but how much value it has, how much reliable it is, how much useful it is, that is nothing but the value. So we are gathering large amount of the data. Do you guarantee that each and every part of the data is useful to you? No, most of the part is not useful to you. Only some parts of the data you give some value. That means it is related to you, it is reliable, it is related to a particular work or task on what you are working. So that's nothing but the value. Otherwise, the data is not good enough for processing or analysis. Research says that the pure quality of the data can lead to at most 20% loss in companies' revenue. So, data scientists first convert raw data into information. So, whatever data we are extracting, that is raw data, and we will convert into the form of information. Then this data set is cleaned, processed, and retrieve most useful data. Analysis and pattern identification is done on this data set. If this process is success, the data can be considered to be valuable. So if you find out a data set which is having n number of the columns, do you think that the data set having n number of the columns or all the fields are necessary to you? No, no, only some of the fields are necessary to you. You just process them and make them as your separate data set, and identify the patterns which are required for you for your particular task. Is it a machine learning task or any other kind of the task? Identify your particular patterns and work on it. So this feature, that means you are giving to the value to your particular patterns only. It is useful entire data set, only few of the features or few of the patterns are useful for your task. So these are all valuable patterns. So that is nothing but value. That means the data is relevant to your work, that is important, that is reliable, that is processed and very much useful to your particular task is nothing but the value. And now finally we are going to see the veracity. What is the meaning of veracity? The word veracity defines the degree of trustworthiness of the data. As most of the data you encounter is unstructured, it is important to filter out unnecessary information and use the rest of the processing. So veracity normally deals with the trustworthiness of the data, because you are accessing the data from multiple number of the sources and totally it is unstructured or of not of one kind. So what you have to do, you have to filter the data and extract the data whatever you want. So the trustworthiness, that is nothing but the degree of trustworthiness. So the information that use the rest for processing, whatever data you extracted, that can be used for processing. So like this, we are having the 5 V's of the big data. The very first one is the volume, whereas it refers to the huge amounts of the data and collected from multiple number of the sources. And variety number of the sources, you are going to extract the data. And velocity, the speed of processing time from multiple number of the sources. Okay. And value, extracting the meaningful patterns, extracting the useful and reliable patterns for your task among the n number of the excuse me, among the n number of the features, etc., etc. And finally, the veracity, the trustworthiness. Okay, so filter the unnecessary data and necessary data, and work with the necessary data. So all these are 5 V's of the big data. So in my past videos, I already told regarding these characteristics of the big data. If at all, you just go through the big data playlist, there you can find this. Okay, I will add this video also there in that particular playlist. Okay, so if at all anybody didn't subscribe my channel, please subscribe my channel, Intelligible Tutorials. Thank you one and all.